Well, I got a heck of a lot of catching up to do. So much has been going on, it's crazy. I haven't even had a chance to make a video. Anyway, so a buddy of mine dropped this off here last Saturday. Today is now Monday. Excuse me, Sunday. He dropped it off Sunday. Today is Monday. Anyway, this is an old Homelight 955 vibration isolated. Got great compression. The problem is, I think he picked it up at a yard sale or something, and was flooding out. He couldn't figure out why there was gas, and it ended up being the reason why there was a bunch of gas was the diaphragm on the bottom of this carburetor, the metering lever, which would be this little guy right here, not that, but this little guy, was bent way too high. And because the diaphragm is starting to get hard, it was holding the needle open, which would cause it to run really rough and flood out. Even a soft diaphragm will do that if the metering lever is too high. So I took the diaphragm out of this carburetor, which is not a rebuilt carb, but it wasn't quite as hard as this. Adjusted the metering lever and got it to run pretty good. I'll do another video on it running in a separate video. I'm just going to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going to be coming up here in the next couple weeks. So expect some updates on this, and move on. 77 Chevy, the Beast, is in the garage. We, like I mentioned, Dad's 572. We did get that in, we did get it running, but we are having some problems, and we got it just in time. We drove it home from the shop, which I have never done a video at the shop. That'd be Station 4, my dad's station where he works, and anyway, we do some projects there. Anyway, so we did this motor swap there, got it running, got it broke in, and thank the good Lord that it had a roller cam in it, and still, because it's Competition Cam's roller cam, and we used Competition Cam's roller rockers, also known as comp, by the way. Anyway, not sure what term I should use. You know, if I got to use it professionally as competition. Anyway, moving on. So it's got these roller rockers in it, and grab a set here. Whoops. These bad boys. So, I had noticed when I had initially tried to set the preload on them that some of them just didn't seem to set right. And I could tell that by the little poly lock. That sometimes the poly lock would be awfully high, some would be awfully low. Well, come to find out, 5 of these were seized up. The plunger either seized up during break-in or were already seized from the factory. And what was happening was, one would spring, but the other one would basically act like a solid lifter. Even though the engine never actually had any valves hanging open, somehow, because it didn't misfire, didn't pop, didn't backfire, we were hearing this ticking noise and just couldn't figure out why. I mean, it was just a distinct tick, 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 tick. You could adjust. I tried adjusting some of the rockers with the engine running. Couldn't make any difference. I kind of gave up too, because this thing oils so well. It was just making a big old mess. So I said, no, we can't do it this way. So we shut the motor down. Brought it home. Just cruised it home at about 1,800, 2,000 RPM. And, well, anyway, so big block Chevys with roller rockers are known for having that ticking noise, which we found out later, but we still can't figure out why the plunger's seized. We even took a hammer and a punch and just wailed on these plungers, and they are just seized solid. One of the camshaft manufacturers thought that it might have been too much oil pressure, because at startup this thing had 95 psi of oil pressure. But then it went right down to about 65, 70 pounds. And at idle, it's at 40. And we broke it in with 5W30 and then zinc as well. So it's possible that what happened was the plunger blew up, is basically what the cam manufacturer said. Now this is not Comps who we were talking to. We were talking to Howard's, and so we're not quite sure. It could have also been the adjustment, because typically on a roller you do not want to adjust one full turn. You want to adjust half to 3/4 of a turn, according to Howard's cams. So anyway, we're not going to be using competition cams rollers anymore. We're going to go with a set of Howard's cams and adjust them to their factory specs, and hope for the best on that. So expect to see updates on this motor coming soon. I'm not going to waste the time of pulling it all apart. Give you a sneak peek though. It's got a serpentine belt system. And this video is 6 minutes long again. Holy cow. Some other parts. And it's got a 950 quick fuel on it. Pretty neat. So anyway, just expect those. Updates on this will be coming up soon when we get it running again. Updates on that will be coming up really soon when I get that thing running good. And I do have some updates on the GMC I need to show, so that'll be another video. And also one more thing. I now just reached 500 subscribers, so a video on that will be coming soon. So anyway, just letting y'all know what's going on here. Talk to you later. Bye.